There are a number of quick, simple and easy to perform XP glitches and XP methods that you can use in Fallout 4, and in this video I am going to go through 5 XP methods and glitches that you can use, including 2 new ones that I've not yet covered on my channel. Hi, I'm Mo and I'm trapped in Fallout. The first method we are going to use is triggered when you speak to Quinlan in the Prydwen. So you must have first of all processed to a point in the game where you are able to speak to Quinlan inside the Prydwen, and when doing so you need to select this option, the assist on patrol option. With this you will now start a quest called the learning curve. From here what you want to do is exit this part of the Prydwen and you want to go back to the main bridge, or the deck rather. So I'm going to quickly go out to the deck and I'll see you there in a moment. Once you make it out to the deck you will need a sniper rifle, particularly one that's got a long range scope rifle. And from here you want to sort of position yourself roughly here, and you want to make sure you're hidden. This is quite important. If you're not hidden then this won't work. Make sure you're hidden, and over there will be a scribe right over there somewhere, and what you want to do is take that scribe out. Now once you take that scribe out, this will actually complete that quest to the point where it will tell you to go and speak to the Proctor Quinlan again. So now exit hidden mode and go and speak to Quinlan. So again I'll see you there in a moment. So once you make it back to Quinlan, speak to him and select the didn't make it option, and as a result what will happen is you will get the XP for completing the quest, and you will also get about 100 bottle caps. And now with that done, you can now select the same option again. You can select assist on patrol, and as a result this will start the quest again. And now you can just repeat this as many times as you want, effectively making this an infinite XP source and a source for some amount of caps. So again, let's just quickly go back out and take out that scribe. So I'm back out on the deck again. Again, just going to pull up my weapon and make my way around here. Make sure I'm hidden. So I'm detected, make sure I'm hidden. So there should be a new scribe somewhere over here. So let's just quickly locate them. So they're right over there. Again, this is far easier if you have a long range scope, so I just take them out, and with that they're now out, and again I'm still hidden. Now this time I'm not going to go back to Quinlan because I think you understand the loop, but instead what I'm going to do is just quick travel down to the entrance of Boston, where I'm going to show you another benefit of actually carrying out this glitch. Now that I'm at the entrance of the Boston airport, just make your way to where you actually took the scribes out, and to your surprise you will find that their fallen bodies are still here. Depending on the number of times you actually perform this loop, each body that you take out or each scribe you take out will actually pile up here regretfully. What you can do is simply search their body now and take all of their items also. In other words, you can complete this loop as many times as you want, and for each scribe that you take out you will be able to get more items from them. So this is rather another cool way to basically get a bunch of free items also. So this particular method doubles up as an XP method, as well as some caps, as well as some free items. For our next XP method, we're going to again use this concept of a loop to get as much XP as we can, and this time we're also going to make a little bit of caps in the process. To use this method you need to visit Diamond City and try to visit here with about 1,000 cap. You don't need 1,000 exactly, a little bit more, a little bit less will do, but 1,000 is a good circa number to go with. Visit the vendor in Diamond City Surplus, and what we're going to do is once we have access to her barter option, we're going to go into the junk menu and we're going to purchase as much steel shipment as we can. So here's the junk menu, and we're going to go down and let's buy as much of the steel shipment as we can. So she has 250 plus another 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 650 shipment in total, and this is costing us 2,340 caps. So let's buy all of that. Once you've done that, turn around and now visit the doctor, or rather the chemistry station located right over here. Go down to the traps crafting menu and then craft as many caltrops as you can. Now each caltrop will take 5, so by the end, given we had 650, if my math is right, I think that's about 130 or 135, but keep on going until you've made as many of these caltrops as you can. I think it's about 130. Once we've made all of these caltrops, we're going to go back to the vendor in the shop that we were just in, and we're going to sell all of these caltrops. So as a result, 2 things are going to happen. First, we're getting XP as a result of crafting all of these caltrops, and as a result of selling these back to the vendor, we're also going to make our money back plus a little bit more on top. So I'm just going to quickly skip ahead to where where I am just about to speak to the vendor. So I've just finished crafting all of those caltrops. I'm going to go and speak to the vendor again, and I'm going to see how much I can get as a result of selling all of those back to her. So I did generate 130. If I sell all of them, I'll get 2,600 back. So I think what we did was, it was something like 2,340 caps. That's what cost us to buy all of the steel shipment. But now as a result, we're making our money back and we're getting a little bit of caps in the process. Now, the next thing is, how can we use this as a loop? Well, this is where this benefit comes in. You can come to this bench right over here, sit on the bench, and then just wait 48 hours. And once you've waited for 48 hours, go and speak to the vendor again, and she should have replenished her stock of steel shipments. So again, I'll see you in a moment once I've waited for 48 hours in Diamond City Market. Okay, now that I've waited for 48 in-game hours, if I go and visit the same vendor in the same shop, and again, just go straight to her barter options and then navigate to the junk section and go all the way down, she should have replenished her stock of steel shipments. And there you go, she's now got 350. So given that when you sold the Caltrops back to her, you made a little bit of money on top, you can repeat this loop as many times as you want, and as a result you will get some XP and you will make a little bit of caps in the process. For our next XP method, we're going to use the shelf replicating method. Now this is a really easy one to pull off. You can do this the moment you leave Vault 111. To do this, you will need to start off with some wood. So I have basically scrapped all the trees around Sanctuary, and once you've done that, you need to go into your build mode, and then you need to go into furniture, and then you need to go into shelves, and from here locate a wooden shelf, so a shelf that's made of wood like this one for example, and just build a shelf. Now the cool thing about shelf is you can actually build them on top of each other, so you can just continuously build as many as you want, and as a result you're going to get a whole lot of XP. Now once you've built as many as you want, you will naturally run out of wood. So the way to get wood is to then use the resource duplication glitch. So you can do this again, as said, as many times as you want to get as much XP as you want. But once you run out of wood, what you can do is go into your workshop and go into junk and find the wood junk items, which is usually towards the very bottom somewhere. So let's quickly find all of the wood we have in our settlement, and there they are. Take all of them, and once you've taken them all, go into your inventory and then drop them back on the floor. So they should be somewhere over here. And once you've dropped them, go into build mode and notice that I had just under 3,000. What you want to do is highlight the wood item and then press the store button followed by the scrap button. So you don't want to press both buttons at the same time, but you want to press the store button followed by the scrap button, and you need to hold down the scrap button. And if you do it right, you should see this menu here, which is where you're able to scrap the item. So at this point I'm still holding down the scrap button, and store the item. And now as a result, what you've done is you've scrapped and stored the item at the same time. If we go back into our workshop and then go back into junk and then go all the way down to where we had the wood, you should now see that we have effectively doubled the amount of wood by using this resource duplication glitch. So you can pair the resource duplication glitch that I've just shown you, and you can build these wooden shelves on an infinite loop, allowing you to get as much XP as you want. Now there is a particular downside to this. As you build these wooden shelves, you will start to slowly fill up your settlement bar, which is located on the top right of this screen. And when that happens, you will have the rather laborious task of having to store, or rather scrap, all of these shelves. So when you do run out of build space in your settlement, you'll have to go and scrap every single one of these shelves. But on the plus side, you can perform this really early in the game, and you don't need to worry about where you're going to get the resources to do this method. For our next method, this is an actual bona fide XP glitch, and this is perhaps one of the most broken XP glitches in Fallout 4. If you use this method, you will be able to get a vast amount of XP rather quickly. To use this XP, I would suggest you have a bed, and I would suggest you have a companion, ideally sitting on a chair so that they're not moving about, and you would need a robot workbench. You will also need to have this as a starter. You will need to build a new automatron, and you will need to have access to the torso, and in particular you will need to be able to build an assaultron torso. Once you've built this, just exit the whole workstation. From here, you need to now go into your settlement workstation or workshop, and you will need to take out all the junk items that are inside this station, and this will become important in just a second. Once you've taken out all the items, you will also need to be able to temporarily store these items somewhere. So I happen to have this cabinet, so store all the junk items in this cabinet. Now once you've done that, this is where your companion comes into effect. What you want to do is speak to your companion and select the trade option, but before the trade menu opens for your companion, you want to slightly shift and select the craft option on your robot workbench, and this might take a couple of tries, so I'm going to try and do it now. So speak to your companion and select trade, and then before that trade menu opens, select craft. So I probably will end up opening the trade menu a couple of times, but I'm going to do my best. So again, trade. From here, you want to select the automatron that you just made, and if you do it, you should see this screen. So right now, your companion's trade window is open, as is the robot workbench menu. From here, you want to follow the specific instructions. Press down on your D-pad just once, and if you do it, the torso option should be selected on the robot workbench. From here, press right on your D-pad, and now the assaulton torso should now be selected. Press right one more time, and now the protecton torso option should be selected. From here, what you can do is repeatedly press the right D-pad button, and as a result, what you're doing is you're actually building this protecton torso every time you're pressing the right D-pad button. Now, if you recall, we removed all the resources from our workshop and we placed them in the cabinet. If you have a look on the bottom right side of the screen, notice that I don't have any of the items required to build this protecton torso, and that is because we've got two menus opened at the same time, and we've basically confused the game into thinking that we do have the items when in reality we don't, and the items are also happen to be sitting in that cabinet right next to this workbench. Repeat this as many times as you want, i.e. pressing the right button on your D-pad as many times as you want. So I'm going to do this for about another 10-20 more seconds, and once I've done that, I'm going to exit this screen. So I'll just see you in a moment once I've done that for about another 20 or 30 seconds. Okay, so I've done this a few times now. Now I'm going to exit the menu, and you will have to exit both menus, so exit and then exit again, and as a result, notice that I've now gained a considerable amount of XP. So I was on level 101, I just gained enough XP to go all the way up to 102. That might not seem like a lot, but this is actually a great amount of XP. Now, if you slept in this bed and get the well-rested bonus before doing this, then that would give you far more XP. Or if you happen to have a companion that you're quite close to, then you will also get a bit of a boost by sleeping with your companion next to the bed. So do use this and take advantage of sleeping in the bed to get a little bit more XP out of it. Now, the last thing to say about this particular glitch is if you want to repeat this glitch, then you will have to build a new automatron and take that as step 1, and then just repeat the entire glitch again, allowing you to again get a vast amount of XP. For the last method in this video, where you can get again a good amount of XP and get a good amount of high level items, you can do what's called building a gunner farm or building a farm of any kind. And in particular, I'll show you what I've sort of done to construct this. In this guide, I'm not going to show you exactly how I built this because this is going to take a very long time. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown. I have a farm here with gunner cages, and all of these cages are housing gunners inside them. I also have a switch here to close this shutter, and I also have a pool of water. Now, one thing about enemies in Fallout 4 is when they fall into water, they can't shoot, which is probably fair because you can't do that as well. But it means you can shoot at them given that you're not in the water. So what I'm going to do is close the shutter, and then I'm going to press this button here, and this is actually opening all the cages in the background. Now I've got this makeshift stair that I've built. Again, I've built this so that I can use this button here to take out the gunners, but I'm not going to do that in my instance. Notice that the gunners are standing about, and that's because they haven't seen you yet. So I'm going to quickly trigger this. So now they've seen you. One of the first things they do is actually step forward, and now they're all in the water. Well, most of them. Now I'm going to jump back down myself, and now I'm going to open the shutter, and I'm just going to take my weapon out. For any that didn't jump in the water, let's see if I can find any that didn't jump. So there's one right over there. So let me just take this one out really quickly, and now I can basically shoot them all out of the water and they won't be able to react. And because it is me that's doing all the shooting, I'll get the full XP for it also. The other benefit to this is once I've actually taken them all out, so I'm just going to quickly do that. Given the design of this farm, the moment you open the cage and the moment they see you, they all fall into the water. As a result, as per the game mechanics, they won't be able to shoot back at you, but you will be able to shoot at them. And once you've taken them all out, this will result in you getting a good amount of XP, but then you will also be able to loot their fallen bodies and take all of the items as well. And the other cool thing is you can repeat this as well. So if I now go back into build mode, I can simply repair this particular thing. So that's that repaired, that's that repaired, and that's repaired, and so on. And once I've repaired all of them, you can go back out and you can just sleep in a bed for anywhere between 24 to 48, or probably around, let's just say about 7 days, just to be safe. If you slept in this bed for about 7 days, what will happen in that time is every single one of these gunner cages will now have more gunners inside them, in which case you can then rinse and repeat this loop as many times as you want, again giving you plenty of good high level items, both weapons and armors, and some good XP in the process. In this video I went through 5 XP methods and glitches that you could use to quickly gain some XP, and one of the most interesting ones was the XP gunner farm that I showed you at the end. If you want to build your own gunner farm in Fallout 4, then click on the video you see on the screen right now. Click on the video you see on the screen right now to find out how I built my own gunner farm in Fallout 4.